All right. Hello. Let's see if I can turn this on. If it makes a difference. Not sure. It's very sunny out, but I have the shades down, so it's kind of too much light and not enough light. And you can see over here I have a big striped area from my Venetian blind that's cutting that off. But anyway, um, I have a new camera, and I kind of tried this out the other day, and I wasn't sure how I want to be able to set this up. And so I'm going to try it out again. I'm going to do another apparition, meaning kind of coming from nowhere. I did start with a um, canvas. I think this is 20 by 20. And I put a coat of a naphthol red down, which is one of my favorite colors. Um, and in hopes of really creating some jarring kind of looks to it, but we'll, you never know. We'll see what happens. It's all about reacting. Apparently, I got a little blue on there. So this is a friend of mine, Tiffany, stopped by the other day, and we were talking about using quality materials, and sometimes that isn't always available, for artists. The painting that's back there, it's a little bit tough to see. Yeah, that's all right. It's big. That's just oil on a primed canvas, and I primed it myself, so I know what's under there. But sometimes, artists will paint over and over and over a canvas, and sometimes, like another painting I have, it was huge. It was a 48 by 48, and I'm just gonna see if I can't kind of start this while I. 48 by 48, and like I said, it was a recycled canvas, and I'm sure it was acrylic, and I think it was kind of one of those very commercial type paintings where maybe somebody did this part, somebody did that part, kind of a thing. And it was at a thrift shop, so there's no way of knowing, where it came from. But it was acrylic, I could tell that, and but within it, I had some very textural kind of raised areas, like they might have put down some gel medium or some kind of a textural medium first, and then primed it, with gesso, and then did their painting. But that being said, and I painted over it with oil, and that's okay to do fat over lean, meaning because lean acrylics are considered a lean paint, my understanding, because it's like water based, and where the fat paint, oil paints, oil, fat are the same. And not sure where this is going here all of a sudden. This is what I was talking about a couple of videos back, where I'll put in a big pause because I get distracted very easily. My brain shifts over to somewhere else. So I painted over this big acrylic painting with oil, and Tiffany and I were talking about how, what will these paintings be like, in 100 years? And, I said, maybe I shouldn't care so much, unless I suppose somebody was spending, a lot of money for it, then I would care, because then they probably want to pass it on to, generations. But I'm not sure if my skill set is at that point where somebody wants something of mine to last for ever and ever. That would be I suppose, a museum of some sort. Mm-hmm. It's interesting because right now I'm actually looking at my laptop, and it looks so different there compared to what's in front of me, as far as like what I'm doing here, composition. So that's an interesting tool to use. And if you're just by chance happy to join, nobody's on. But if you happen to watch this later and you just don't know what this channel is all about, I'm an artist with aphantasia, meaning I'm an image-free thinker. I cannot conjure images up in my head. So now what will be fun is to take and start with that bright red. It'll be really interesting to see how things pop. I would like to be able to leave little slivers of red showing through. So I think what I'll do is I'll kind of paint maybe some areas without. I should have a palette. Right now I have a piece of paper taped to an old wooden TV tray, and so you can't see mixing. And I've got a little phthalo blue there. And a little white. And I have some, is it going to focus? Maybe. Liquid, which is a medium that helps thin the paint and dry much faster. Really like, oh, it looks really teal aqua there, and it's not at all. I'm not sure if I can. It's not the color. This color seems to be pretty accurate, but this is on the screen right now. It is not. It is much more blue. So what I'm going to try and do is paint, leaving maybe some red showing through there. I was doing just a quick breeze through it. Oh boy, that's sharp on the eyes. Breeze through on an article on the aphantasia.com, aphantasianetwork.com. Anyway, it was talking about the different types of aphantasia, which is hard for me to kind of wrap my head around, just because one of the things for me, aphantasia is about images and images in the brain. But it seems like now they're kind of redefining it. And that's kind of what the article was about, is how scientists are working with that and redefining things. Because there are some people that I've seen people on some of the, social media groups where they say total aphantasia. And so, meaning they also can't like imagine smells or tastes or sounds. And I would say some of those areas for me are dim, but like, for example, I do know, I mean, it's not like I can conjure up, well, a little bit, like maybe like garlic, frying. I use a lot of garlic, so I might be able to like describe that. No, who can describe the smell of garlic when it's cooking? Oh, somebody can. But but there is like a sugar cookie that took me years. It was a cookie that we had as when I went to St. Peter's parochial school. And I suppose, I'm in anywhere up to like fourth grade. And they had this sugar cookie that was amazing to me. And I mean, like, I searched for years for recipes that would be really close to it. So you know, I knew upon eating the sugar cookie if that was going to match. And I finally did find it, but a recipe that works. It's got almond in it, almond flavor in it. And that was the thing that was missing. So here I am just letting my brush dictate exactly how this is going to go. Ooh, I really like, there's a softness going on here. This. And I paused there for just a second because I was like trying to figure out if it should be like a dark blue hitting up on the edge or light. And I think I like the dark. A lot of times there's like a couple of colors on my brush. I let a lot of the mixing happen, the paint mixing happen right on the canvas. And I just work with it that way. I've been doing these little cell-like structures keep popping up. It's I think I mentioned this before, where a lot of artists will have like certain marks and whatever. For a long time, I worked on a theme of pink houses. One of my favorite songs is John Cougar Mellencamp's Pink Houses. and I had a friend who lived in a pink house. And so I did a lot of artworks based on that. Looks like brass knuckles or something weird. So the camera, I think, is much better. It's got a lot of capabilities where, I don't know if I can do this during this. See if I can find it. Yes, okay. So, but yeah, I mean, it kind of does the Blair Witch Project kind of thing. So if I'm down here, though, it's going to show my palette more, but it's not the best angle. Well, that's okay. And if I were to use this for let's say a Zoom or Skype or Google Meet, see, now I have to kind of like get it back to, it's all fuzzy. But anyway, if I were to do it for that, I can make myself look like 20 years younger with this beauty enhancement. It's an AI feature that they have, and it's super amazing. It doesn't know where my hand is. So I think that was the problem that I had, was I wasn't sure. I think it would be cool if you have the camera set like above you, or to be, like if you're working at a table or something, so, but either that or I have to go back in and learn more. I watched this guy's video for about a half an hour. It was pretty great. Looks like Pac-Man. I accidentally threw a little bit of the wrong color in there. I'm gonna. So anyway, I forgot what I was talking about. I got so involved here. So Tiffany and I were talking about these shapes here, and I said, yeah, they are kind of like cell-like structures, or I mean, they're kind of chaotic paintings. When I'm finished with them. So, but these are almost like these little safe places, almost like they're little caves, I'll try. I have this super lime green color over here, and it's begging to go on here. So we'll try maybe a little bit here and just see what happens. Because even these two colors are jumping, meaning kind of right where your eye, if it's a really crisp line, especially, the red will actually jump over onto the blue, and the blue a little bit onto the red, but it usually happens with complementary colors. And so it's looking a little bit more white on the screen from what I can tell. Be nice if I could. I'm going to just lift this camera up and see if I can get it closer. And you can kind of see the lime green there, but yeah, I'm not sure if I'm liking that. And this is the big part of my process is, this is why I have a lot of rags around. And part of the process being, I have to test it out. I have to see it, in order for it to go into, rather than maybe somebody who can go, oh no, that won't work, because they could see it, and then they could kind of like visualize what that green would do. However, it may work in some of this area. And no, not really. It's all right. Actually, that may be okay. It's creating a weird kind of depth in there. so much better. Colors, you can see the colors better too. I have no idea what this is doing. This is going to look completely different by the time that this one's done. I can guarantee that. Just because I'm not liking some of what is happening, but I have to also trust that the process will get me there. And I think that's a lot of where it's really hard. For me, especially doing any type of abstract work, because I just want to like toss it out immediately without really giving it a chance. interesting little. I'm just removing the chalk marks very carefully. I'm not going to be able to get those until that's dry. Just because I found them kind of distracting. I can kind of see what I'm doing. So I'm looking at this now that I've got something down, compositionally. How does this work? And so I'm just flipping it to get oil paint all over my hand. Just to kind of see. Sometimes when you do that, you can see things a little bit better. Like looking at it in this view, I feel like there's some interesting things happening here, but it obviously needs to work with this. But I can leave some of this open. But being that I have this really strong red, it's a very in-your-face, overpowering kind of thing. So this would be one of those things where I could stop and take a photo of it and then bring it into Procreate, and kind of play with it, do a couple of doodles here and here. But since I have the chalk, and what I was thinking of doing there, I don't think works anymore. Maybe. Now that I have this kind of upside down. Maybe if there's kind of a reverse chasm there. They seem to almost like little rivers coming through. Yeah. Now let's see what isn't exactly what I was thinking there, but All right. Been on for nearly 45 minutes, so not that I can't stay on, but I think I'll close this up soon. Huh. It's like the big funnel. Almost a horizon line there. I won't say it out loud. Then, yeah. Okay. Well, a few more seconds for 45 minutes exactly. I think that's where I'll leave it. I might fill in this area solid, see how that looks, and we'll continue the next time I'm on.